Today I will talk about the 8 topics I will list shortly. Now, let's jump into these lessons. 1. Maintaining composure. 2. Self-examination. 3. The power of pausing before reacting. 4. Humor and smiles. 5. Rational response. 6. Embracing acceptance. 7. Understanding through empathy. 8. Setting boundaries. Get ready to embark on a transformative journey as we unpack these Stoic lessons together. Each one is a stepping stone toward becoming a person everyone admires. So, stay tuned and let's explore the wisdom of Stoicism together. 1. Maintaining composure. In the face of disrespectful situations, Stoicism teaches us to become like a sage in the eye of a hurricane, calm and untouched. Disrespect is viewed as mere background noise, and our true power lies not in silencing this noise, but in remaining indifferent to it. The Stoic shield is our ability to let the noise pass through us without leaving a mark, making us the calm at the center, the master of our own peace. 2. Self-examination. Stoicism encourages us to view life as a series of mirrors reflecting not only our image, but also our thoughts, decisions, and core values. Aligning actions with principles is emphasized, turning conflicts into opportunities for growth. By pausing to reflect, we can ensure that our actions mirror the virtues we aspire to embody, leading to a life that reflects not only who we are, but who we strive to become. 3. The power of pausing before reacting. Imagine having the ability to hit a pause button in the midst of life's chaos. Stoicism introduces the power of the pause, a moment to think, process, and choose wisdom over impulse. This simple act is a buffer zone for wisdom to enter and take control. The pause is not just about silence, it is an active engagement with our inner sage, allowing us to respond to life's challenges with intention. 4. Humor and smiles. Humor is presented as a Stoic shield and a smile as a powerful sword. Rather than using humor to belittle, Stoicism encourages its use to transform the energy of a disrespectful moment. A genuine smile becomes a universal language of kindness, capable of turning walls into windows. Wielding humor and smiles wisely involves considering whether they will lighten the load or add weight to a situation. 5. Rational response. Stoicism guides us to choose rational responses over emotional reactions. Responding with reason, guided by virtues, is likened to steering a boat in a stormy sea. The focus is on acting in line with values, not letting emotions dictate our responses. By choosing reason over vengeance, we strengthen our Stoic muscles and become admired for our calm, wisdom, and unshakable peace. 6. Embracing acceptance. Acceptance in Stoicism is about embracing life as it is, not as we wish it to be. Like tending to a garden, we do our part and let go of the need to control external factors. This shift in focus from control to personal growth is considered key. Acceptance is not passive, it is about adapting and finding peace in the process, leading to wisdom and peace flourishing in the soil of acceptance. 7. Understanding. Through empathy, Stoicism emphasizes the importance of empathy in conflicts. Stepping into others' shoes allows for a deeper understanding of their feelings and perspectives. The practice of empathy is not about always agreeing, but about listening to truly understand. The Stoic twist involves self-reflection, asking ourselves how our faults resemble those we are about to criticize, making empathy a powerful tool for building bridges in relationships. 8. Setting boundaries. Stoicism views setting boundaries as drawing lines in the sand, not to build walls, but to define what is acceptable. It's about communicating needs clearly, respecting oneself, and teaching others to do the same. Setting boundaries is portrayed as a skill that, when practiced with calm assertiveness, becomes a bridge to a life of respect and dignity. This video aims to introduce viewers to the principles of Stoicism, illustrating how they can apply the teachings of this ancient philosophy to their daily lives. By addressing topics such as emotional resilience, acceptance, empathy, and setting boundaries, the video seeks to inspire viewers to enhance their coping skills in dealing with challenging situations and strengthen their inner resilience. Each principle is supported with examples, providing practical strategies for viewers to integrate Stoicism into their lives. Lastly, the video encourages viewers to share their own experiences with Stoicism and provide suggestions for future topics to be covered. This has been a journey filled with powerful Stoic principles. I encourage you to share your experiences related to these 8 topics in the comments and join this valuable community. And please let me know which topic you'd like me to explore in the next video through the lens of Stoic principles. Your input is valuable, and I look forward to diving into the subjects that matter most to you. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more insightful content on StoicMason. Your engagement fuels the growth of our Stoic community. Thank you for being a part of it. Until next time, keep the conversation going and let's continue our journey toward a wiser, more resilient self.